Well, hey everybody, it is Brad here at Evenbrooke. We're so glad that you joined us here on YouTube this afternoon. So we've talked before about what really makes Evenbrooke what it is the vendors and the personalities that are all collectively in here under one roof. And this afternoon we're going to focus our attention on one of our vendors that certainly brings a lot of personality to the venue, not only just with who they are, but with their amazing product. We're going to meet Andrew with Carolina Grain Company. So follow me, we're going to go see if he's back here. Well, Andrew is in his space here, so here we are. We have found ourselves at Carolina Grain Company. Andrew, it is so good to have you in Evenbrooke.
It is.
We have worked. Andrew and I had worked for a while, several months, I think. Had worked for a while to get Carolina Grain Company in here, and we just didn't have the space. And finally, it worked out for us to get some space, and we're just so happy to have Andrew and all of his wonderful products in here. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about it. What exactly is Carolina Grain Company? Is it something you've been doing a while? How did you get involved in it?
Carolina Grain Company is my woodworking company, as you can tell. It started about 7-8 years ago, full-time, going on 4 years now. I started doing Carolina Grain Co. back in college, which technically wasn't Carolina Grain Co. I built Adirondack chairs. That's kind of how I got my start in selling woodworking products. And then kind of transitioned from that to cutting boards and spoons. Found on Pinterest, got inspiration from that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that, because at that time I was also working up at a local restaurant, Lexington Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
And so I enjoyed cooking and stuff like that, so I wanted to kind of see what can I do with cooking and woodworking.
So Andrew, obviously this takes a lot of talent, a lot of time to kind of hone your craft, if you will. I mean, is this something you just kind of over the years developed a talent for? Is it something that you went through some sort of through some kind of learning process with? How did you learn how to do this?
I actually started in high school, got my start in shop class or woodworking class. Took 2-3 years of that, and it was a furniture-based class, or more focused on furniture. So we did nightstands, bookcases, coffee tables, stuff like that. Never did any turning, but I actually found my passion for woodworking through that class, because at that time I was a skater kid in high school, and so my woodworking at that point transitioned into half pipes and skate ramps and all that kind of stuff. Literally had a skate park in my parents' backyard, but I'd always had some sort of desire to learn how to turn, and I've always been fascinated with wood bowls. Don't know why. I love the simplicity of it, but also the fact that I can take a chunk of wood and turn it to a finished product within an hour. As furniture or stuff like that, it takes time. You got to put a lot of hours or even days into it. So I started off, asked my parents for a little bench top blade, just something to get my feet wet. And for Christmas, that's what I ended up receiving. Just something really small, just to learn on. Got on YouTube and just kind of taught myself how to turn from that point. So I combined, what I learned from shop class and what I learned from YouTube, and now we have Carolina Grain.
Sure. So, lesson to be learned, kids: stay in school. When this is over, Andrew's going to teach me how to skate.
Yeah.
So when you say cooking, and this is just because I know nothing, so you can answer and answer specifically on this. All of these items being kitchen utensils and bowls, they're not just decorative, these are food safe, is that correct?
Absolutely. The majority of my stuff is finished with the mineral oil and beeswax finish. I actually make my own finish using mineral oil and local beeswax from High Point. Just melt down the beeswax and combine the cream. But the start of my stuff, when the product is finished, I actually soak it in a vat of mineral oil to build a foundation up, to let it actually get into the wood. And then after that, I let it sit for a few days to kind of let any excess mineral oil seep out of the wood. Then I go through and seal it with the mineral oil and beeswax finish. And that beeswax will harden up, sealing in the wood. But yes, all my stuff is meant to be used. Everything's meant to be for like cutting boards, spoons, anything is meant to be cooked with.
So it's so detailed, and I know it takes a lot of time, and somehow, in the midst of all that, Andrew finds time to take facial hair growth to levels that most of us dreamt of. That is a fantastic beard.
Thank you, sir.
My wife won't let mine go like that, so maybe one day. But All right, so in layman's terms, you know, if I see this, I think, wow, that's really interesting, but this didn't just happen in nature. Now, this is not something you just go in a box store and find. I mean, this is all handcrafted from one solid piece of wood. Is that right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
I know it's a simple question, but you know, what goes into making a bowl like this? Like, what type of wood is it? How do you get this shape and this detail out of a piece of wood?
So I always start off with logs, just straight logs. I don't do any type of glued up segmented bowls. Everything I do comes from green wood. So if a tree is cut down, I try to work with it within 2 weeks because turning green wood is a lot easier than turning dry wood. Because of that, I have to allow it to dry for a few weeks up to a few months as well. But you know, a lot of the times when people look at a bowl, they think, well, the tree's round, so the bowl must come out of just a section like that. But it actually, when you cut up a tree, you cut it up like firewood, and then when you cut it up into the section that you have or want, you cut it down the middle, and then so when you have a piece that's half round, half flat, that's how you get your bowl. So if you have a bowl cut in half, that's the round, the outside of the tree, and that's going to be the inside of the tree.
Gotcha.
And see, so you have the opposite effect with this piece of hickory right here. So where you get the outside of the bowl, you know, out here, and that's what the bark is. That's actually the outside of the tree, and then you have the inside of the tree where the pith would be.
Okay.
And I use all locally sourced hardwoods or logs, so everything I actually turn comes from somewhere in North Carolina.
Okay.
I try to stay within Davidson County, but I do go out in, you know, the outside counties. But everything I do use is local.
Wonderful. So we were so thrilled to get everything in here, but now just so everybody's aware, this is Evenbrooke is just really a small sampling of all the products that Andrew will have available for you. So we're going to put up how you can contact Carolina Grain Company through their website, also on Facebook. So if you have custom orders, I believe is something that you've done. You've done a wonderful job of building a customer base, have a large following, and are constantly filling orders for many people. So if somebody comes in here and wants a specific or custom collection of utensils or bowls or something, that is something that you take on.
Absolutely,
Okay.
it is.
So wonderful. So be sure to reach out to Andrew if you have specific questions or custom needs. Also, you've been featured. I mean, you're not just some goofing off with this thing. I mean, Andrew, you've kind of been featured a lot. I know on Roy's folks on Fox 8, also Taste of the South, and also Our State Magazine, I believe, or Our State, North Carolina. So that's given you, I'm sure, a good boost in awareness and built a wonderful customer base.
Yeah, it's actually because of Our State Magazine is how I was able to go full time with it.
Right, okay.
They were my first wholesale order,
Sure.
and you know they just been a loyal customer of mine, and they did a feature on me as well.
Sure.
But yes, because of them, I've actually were able to go full time,
Well,
and then kind
wonderful.
of everything's fell into place after
Yeah.
that.
Well, I know from talking to Andrew, obviously a love and a passion for creativity and crafting the product, but you always are just so detailed and involved with your customers, and that's always important with him. He really builds that relationship with them. And you've got a lovely T-shirt on also.
Thanks,
if I'm
sir.
not
I
mistaken,
appreciate it.
that
Yeah.
is something that'll be available as well, right?
Yes, it will be. Absolutely.
So we're going to be bringing some of the Carolina Grain Company apparel in for you, so you can go out there and let everybody see that that wonderful name. That's a lot of information. It's just wonderful, again, to have Andrew in here with us. We look forward to all you guys coming in to Evenbrooke, checking that out, look over everything. Be sure to reach out to Andrew if you have custom interests or questions, or simply reach out to us here at Evenbrooke. We can make sure that you get in touch with Andrew. But Andrew, again, we're so glad to have you with us. Thanks for taking time for us this evening, and we'll see everybody soon. Thank you.
See ya.